Welcome back in. Ice cream break is over. Happy to be here with our defending KPMG champion, Danielle Kang. As we all remember, Danielle birdied the 72nd hole last year at Olympia Fields to take a one-stroke victory over Brooke Henderson. She's competing in her 13th event of the LPGA season, had a finished second in Singapore and a fourth place finish at the U.S. Women's Open, and is playing in her 8th KPMG Women's PGA Championship. So I saw the video you posted yesterday of pulling in to your parking spot, seeing your face everywhere. We're a year later. Is it a bit of a surreal comeback for you here at KPMG?
I don't know about the word surreal, but I love it. I'm everywhere. I'm on the tickets. I'm on the pamphlets. I'm on the board. You drive in, my name's there. Like, pictures are everywhere. I'm seriously everywhere. My favorite color is blue. It's everywhere. So one of the players came up and goes, dude, the vibe is really scary, and I realized that you're the defending champion. But I love being back in Chicago. The golf course is super hard, and it reminds me a lot of the Olympia Fields, and there's a lot of different type of shots you have to hit, so really excited.
You said you just walked off the golf course, and something we've heard in our press conferences so far today is that the finishing holes are particularly difficult. Walk us through those last few holes, and do you maybe agree with that or think a little different?
Yes, I mean, there are a lot of water holes coming in. 15, long hole, 16, is it 15? Yeah, 15, 16. 16 is a long hole, and it's like a 5-iron over the water, but then the green's the width is very narrow, so not a lot of landing spots. And then 17, you got that par 3 with the wind blowing into you, and it's a long hole. If they ever tuck it in that back, sometimes bogey might be a good score. And 18, it's like a wind left to right, but it's a right to left hole. So it's very, it's interesting, and I like it. It's a very challenging golf course.
So it sounds like it's a major caliber golf course here.
Oh, 100%. I played yesterday 9 holes, and I stood there, I go, I don't know what to do. But I felt like that at Olympia Fields, and my caddy and I are working out a lot of things, so feel really good about it.
I want to take you back a year ago and just say the Danielle Kang that won at Olympia Fields was a different Danielle Kang than maybe what we have now. How have you changed over the last year? I should say the Danielle Kang that went to Olympia Fields was different from the Danielle Kang we have now.
I guess I'm pretty same, except the fact that the only difference is I'm here to defend, and I think that's exciting. I haven't had something to defend on since the U.S. Amateur, and I'm just really excited to be back in this position. To not just winning it, but it's like, I can go for back-to-back. And when I had that feel when I won the first USAM, only thing I wanted to do was win that second one once again, and I really like that feeling. I've just been looking forward to this event for the whole year, and I'm here.
Clearly, it's a feeling that works for you because you've done it.
I love it. I mean, it's just there's pressure, and it's just, I don't know. You're just a defending champion, and you know what it's like. You know what you've done, and I've just been preparing, and I'm here.
Great. We'll open it up for questions. You know the drill. Raise your hand. We'll bring a microphone around to you. Anyone care to start us off? I've got one over there in the corner with Amy Rogers on the far side, and then we can come back to you, Rory.
Hey, Danielle.
Hi.
I know in the past sometimes it's like the voice of God. I know sometimes in the past you've reached out to other players to get insights about the course. Did you ask anybody about anything this week?
Not particularly. A lot of people have, voluntarily given me information about the golf course, but I kind of just went in one year, went out the other. I like I said, to people, when I get to the golf course and I see it, and then I talk to Trey or Dustin, I need to see the golf course before I could understand what they're talking about. But for me, majorly, I don't know anybody that's actually a member here. None of the players are really from here, I don't think. And a lot of my friends have played it because there was a web.com tournament not too long ago, and they just came out and played in Kemper Lakes, and they kept texting me, D, it's a ball striker's golf course, and it's been giving me positive feedbacks like that. So, it's a lot of bunkers there and stuff like that. So,
next question for Danielle. We'll go right in the middle in the back to Rory.
Danielle, it's been almost 30 years since there's been a PGA played here when Payne Stewart won his first major. What would
That's
it
who it won.
What would it be like to be the second player to win a PGA championship here at Kemper Lakes and maybe sort of be linked with Payne in that little historical page?
For me, I think, winning in any venue and any time and being compared to the best and any type of history that you make is just an honor. And it's just what we play for and we practice and we're ready for that moment, And anytime that I get compared to a legend, whether it's Payne Stewart to Annika to Jim Furyk won it at Olympia, it's incredible that we get to just keep on living this legacy and that if I can be a part of it just by being here, I think that's amazing.
Further for Danielle, we'll go down here on the front to Beth Ann.
Danielle, you withdrew a couple of weeks ago. How's your health? What happened, and how are you now?
I pulled a muscle briefly, so I wasn't feeling that great already starting in the week. I didn't want to say that then because I just wanted to come back to being 100% before I tell people that I was not feeling well. But I was pretty worn out from the U.S. Open. I mean, you guys know how I play. It's so emotional. I mean, I'm so dramatic that after the U.S. Open, I'm so tired. And when I went home, I couldn't sleep for some reason. And so I didn't get enough rest. I was really exhausted. I was lagging. And then I got to the tournament late. And I still couldn't sleep. And I pulled a muscle as soon as I hit it out of this rough. And it wasn't feeling good. And my caddy and I were talking. And I kept trying to fight it. But there was just no point. And I was like, you know what? I'd rather just rest and give my body a break, go back to 100% and be ready to compete. So right on schedule. Yeah, no, I'm good now. I just needed to sleep. I hibernated. I WD'd and I slept 18 hours, 20 hours, and 11 hours. I only got up to eat one meal a day. I was so tired for some reason. I don't know why. But so yeah, I'm good now.
You were just talking about how you're an emotional player, but last year at this championship, you did seem like you were pretty even keel, more so than normal. Do you remember? Did you feel that way? Do you feel,
I was so emotional.
Oh, okay.
I was so upset on 10 that I 3-putted. I would never forget how upset I was that I dropped down the leaderboard because I 3-putted from 20 feet.
So how did you get that back and not beat yourself up the rest of the way?
That 3-putt actually fixed my putting for the rest of the day. Because I was standing there, I go, how in the world did you 3-putt from there? And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, let's learn from it. Because I'm just enraging at this point. And I go, what happened? And then I start thinking on what I could do to fix it. And I go, oh yeah, that's what causes that. And then the next hole, dropped birdie. And I'm like, there it goes. Then the next hole, drop birdie. And I'm like, oh. And then I just kept pushing through. And at that point, now I know what the rhythm feels like, and I'm like, okay, now let's game on. But I was just so frustrated. But yeah, those are the emotions that, like somebody says, does it affect you? I'm like, I don't think it's ever affected me in a negative way. I just know how to control it. So I do get mad. I get really mad, but then I know how to fuse it on my own and try to bounce back from it. But I'm not a player that's gonna be calm.
You'll never be NB.
Huh?
You'll never be NB.
I mean, she's just chill. So chill. But I think she's chill on and off the golf course, though.
Back row to Lisa.
Danielle, you mentioned being exhausted from the U.S. Open, and here we get here, Kemper Lakes, this area last week had 4 inches of rain. It's a long golf course. They're playing, I think, a little over 6,700 yards. You're an aggressive player. You hit it longer than most. What kind of advantage can that be for you this week?
So, my caddy, on the last hole even today, he told me, he's like, this is the furthest left you're going. I go, okay, and I challenge it, and I go even more left. I draw it around, and it's a dog left, and he's like, I will kill you if you do that. I go, well, I just got to see how far I can push it, but aggressiveness, I think what my caddy does a really great job is he knows when to take me back and say, hey, we're going to go to the middle. And so him and I are talking a lot about what pins I can attack. And one of the advantages that I do have is I know how to, I'm very good at shaping shots. And placing the ball where I wanted it to place and just giving myself birdie chances. So that's just my game plan, is to stay aggressive when you have to stay aggressive. And even, you're right, with drivers, there are a lot of holes where you could hit 3-woods and stuff like that, but I just send it and see where it ends up. If it goes in the fairway bunker, I have no problem out of there, so I'll just go into it and middle of the green and try to make some putts.
Next for Danielle, we'll go right here
I
in
have
the
one
middle.
more real
Oh, one
fast.
more, Lisa.
Christina
Okay.
asked you about how you've changed, and you were talking about personally. How have you changed as a golfer the last year? What kind of confidence did this win give you?
I think, well, a lot of people ask me how I've changed. I hope I didn't change as a person, but it just definitely gave me, I always say that it gave me more of a freedom. Before I was very frustrated and I was driven by frustration just to get it out of the way. But now I'm just driven just to be in contention and just kind of enjoying the game again. And I like being the center of attention. I like having the crowds. I like being in that final group and coming down the stretch, whether it's in Bahamas, Singapore, US Open. I like being in that hunt. And I think it's just a different way of approaching the game, instead of wanting to get something over and done with just because I'm so frustrated, versus just actually enjoy playing. And I love playing. So it's kind of nice.
Right here.
Danielle, in a field this talented and on a stage this big, how much of a tournament like this is mental and keeping that all in check, especially as the rounds go on?
I think it's crucial to keep it, your mental game is crucial during majors, especially because you're going to make simple mistakes. Like I said at Olympia Fields, if you 3-putt from 10 feet and you're in the lead, either you're going to break down or you're going to have to get yourself together. And how you do it is just, you got to figure that out. And at even majors, each shot is so crucial. You take your mind off of one and you hit it in a place that you never want to, double is just around the corner. So I think just mental exhaustion is pretty, that's why I'm so tired after majors, is you have to think so much about the shot, the grain, the lie, how it's going to come out, what kind of putt you're going to leave yourself, all of that. And then on top of that, if it doesn't work out, you have to be okay with it and then give yourself another chance instead of being down on yourself. So I think mental game is very, very crucial for major championships.
We're going to the front row to Karen and then the back row to Rory. Right in front, behind you, Karen.
Danielle, what was your first reaction when you heard that Brittany was going to play in Lexington next month?
I thought that was awesome. I was jealous. I want to play. I want to play. I play the tips with my brother, but I get shots, but still. I thought that was an amazing thing. I always like seeing different types of golf and different opportunities. I think she'll have a lot of fun. I saw her in the locker room and I told her, I screamed out, oh my God, how exciting. You're going to have so much fun. And then she's like, yeah, and then I guess there was some talk about, I don't know, you can't make everybody happy, right? There's always going to be critics, and I don't know what the bad critic was about, but I told her, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, you're gonna learn how I feel when I play with you. I'm literally 60 behind you, so unless she hits it far, so if she does play with the far hitter, then I'm like, I hope you know how it feels, but have fun though. I'm like, I have driver 5-iron sometimes, you have driver 9-iron, just now maybe you'll appreciate us a little bit, Brittany. And she's like, oh my dear Lord. And
How closely will you follow that?
I'm not sure. I don't even know when the tournament is. When is it?
You guys are off.
We're
in
off.
The men's British Open.
I'll watch it.
Does it make you think maybe I should try that before I'm through?
Of course, I'm always open to trying new things. Why not? I don't. Some people were saying, well, would you guys let, a PGA Tour player on your tour? I'm like, I don't know. Why not? Come play. I don't know. Who cares? Just have fun. It's just one tournament. At the end of the day, we play 34 a year. What does it matter what happened in 2013 in August? I can't think that far back. It's just live in the moment, have fun. If you have the opportunity, and if you ever given yourself the opportunity, I think that's an amazing thing.
Back row to Rory.
Danielle, the club here has nicknamed holes 16, 17, and 18 the Gauntlet. Do you feel that the player that wins this week will probably have played the gauntlet holes, maybe the best over the 4 days?
What's a gauntlet?
The gauntlet, it's the new nickname of the last 3 holes, like Amen Corner at the Masters and some of the other different, the Bear Trap. There's different tour events that have nicknames for certain stretch of holes. And so since the last 3 holes here are kind of tough with water and sand, they nicknamed it the gauntlet. So I was just wondering if holes 16 through 18 could be the key to the championship, surviving the gauntlet.
Are you asking me the key from 16 and 18, or?
Yeah, might the key to winning be the player that plays those last 3 holes the best?
I don't think so. I mean, we play 72 holes, and you're just naming the 12 holes. So out of the 60 other ones, I mean, they still got to play that, and it's pretty stressful. So I think you just got to play a good golf from day 1, first hole, to 72nd hole. I mean, but you're right. It's 72nd hole is very tough. Sometimes it comes down to the last hole, but I don't know. I mean, mistakes happen whether it's the easiest hole or it's the hardest hole. As long as it's got a fairway and a green, I mean.
Anything further? We've got Karen, and then I'll close with one more question.
I have a follow on that. So when you're reviewing a tournament that you've just finished, do you look at how you played the 7th hole on Thursday and a mistake you might have made there and give it as much weight as maybe a putt you missed on the last hole that everybody is going to remember? Rory a few weeks ago said, I don't get this idea of, you win or lose the tournament on the last 9 holes. He said something similar to you, it's a 72-hole event. They all matter. I'm wondering how you see a Thursday mistake in the grand scheme of things when most people might be just focusing on that Sunday mishap.
I mean, someone told me yesterday, key to happiness is not to ever look in the past when something bad happened, right? I mean, if it happened, it happened, but you can learn from it. But I don't think you have to be afraid of the mistake that you made. If I pulled it and went in the hazard, then maybe I'll just aim in the hazard and play a slice. It depends. Someone goes, don't do that again. I go, I can't help it if I do. I mean, I'm human, but I'm going to do the best I can to avoid the mistake. But I think thinking of the mistakes, I don't know, since I was young, when I stand on the tee and somebody goes, don't tell me the hazard, don't tell me the OB. I go, why? There's OB there, there's hazard there. I mean, you could already see it. It's fine. Just play in center. There's a fairway too. So I think if you're afraid of it, you're going to probably make the same mistake again because of the fear. But I think it's just, you're going to have to kind of move on. If you make a mistake, that's where the mental game comes in, which she asked earlier about mental games at the majors. And you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to have to learn to get over it as quick as possible, but learn from it as well. Yeah.
One question for you in closing. I just read a nice piece that came out on Golf World about you today, a nice first-person piece, and you mentioned your work with UNICEF and that a lot of it came out of what happened last year. Tell us about your new partnership with UNICEF and what you're doing with them.
So, we have UNICEF is something that I've just been dreaming of since I was a kid, and there's a long backstory to that. But I approached them after I won the KPMG. I got a conference, and I've met with them, and they're just such a wonderful company that I've wanted to be a part of. The organizations that what they support, the children's lives and all around the world, and they're so efficient, and they've just been around for so long that I have so much to learn. And at the end of the day, I told them that I don't want to be just an ambassador. I don't want to be just the face of UNICEF. I want people to think of it as a part of my brand. If you see me, you think of Adidas. Mm-hmm. You see me, and I want them to think of UNICEF. And if I could raise awareness, and that's just what I wanted to do. And it's something that I need to get better at as well. And I'm very, blessed with the things that I have in my life. But we just kind of forget how blessed we are, and we just kind of have to be aware of what's going on around the world. I met with some kids out in San Francisco after. We're going to do. They're gonna try to set me up to go to a mission or to visit, certain areas, and I've adopted some kids out of World Vision when I was 14, like all that kind of things. And if there's anything I can do to make, one life difference, I just think I did something right. And golf has given me the opportunity to do that. So I'm really appreciative and honored that they took me on. So I'm really excited.
It was fabulous that out of the big win last year, you could pay it forward and do something great like that.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Danielle. Have a great week. We'll
Cool.
chat with you later.
Thank you, guys.